Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my very first episode right here on the Hivecast Media Group. My name is Brandon, and today we are going to be talking about a cool little phone that I found for about 80 bucks from the Boost Mobile service, and that is going to be the Samsung Galaxy J3 Achieve. If you give me 1 second here, I'll pull it over, and boom, here it is. So this is the little beauty I've been talking about, and I've been told in the past this phone is actually pretty good. It's actually a beautiful little phone for how small it is for the price. I mean, I don't know if I would say 80 bucks worth, but that's why this review is here today. So we're going to look at it a little more in depth today and maybe change people's minds on getting this phone because it's actually a pretty nice phone. It does have a few drawbacks, but we're going to talk about it right here. So to get started, the Galaxy J3 is still a relatively new phone. It's been around for 8-9 months. Still has some of the best value I've ever seen from like a value like prepaid phone. So that's pretty good. Honestly, like I've owned a lot of phones, like prepaid phones wise, and this is probably one of the better ones I've actually had. See if I can get this back in focus. There it goes. Cool. This is about one of the better phones that I've actually used. I had a Stylo 3, I had the HTC 626, and I had the Zone 3, which I had another review, but people weren't too thrilled about that one, because I really just told my honest opinion about it. So this phone here is actually one of the best ones that I've seen. And if you're trying to get like yourself like a temporary phone or something, or you're trying to get like one of your kids or something like a new phone, this is probably the smartest way to do it in my own opinion, just for the price alone. It's obviously not like $500, it's not $200, it's about 80 bucks when I bought this one. To go through a couple of the specs that it has in this phone, it does, actually it's for about 70 bucks, I take that back. It does have a 5-inch HD TFT Gorilla Glass display. It does have a 2600 milliamp battery. It's good for about 29 hours of talk time. I haven't seen that personally. I know a couple other viewers probably have, but the misconception is that's talk time. That is not social media or YouTube time or surfing the web or anything like that. Usually when I do that, it lasted about 6 hours at the most. Maybe 7 hours, if you're doing it that way, if you're using the phone like hardcore. It has about 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigabytes of onboard memory. It can support a 400 gigabit micro SD card, which is pretty good. Obviously it runs on the latest Android 8.0 Oreo, and it has a 1.3 gigahertz octa-core processor. Obviously it has the normal features like Bluetooth, USB 2.0, and a couple of things that most phones don't have, including, you guessed it, a headphone jack. This phone has a headphone jack, and you're still not paying a lot of money for it, so that's great. At the same time, to most people that are looking for like a budget phone, this is probably one of the better ways to go that I've personally seen if it's under $100. Obviously, you're not breaking the bank, you're not paying a whole lot of money, and it actually looks really nice. I did have it booted up here, that way you guys can see it too. Hopefully it shows pretty well on the screen. I did load up a couple apps. It is really responsive too. It's pretty quick on its toes. And it does actually sound pretty decent. It does actually have a side-firing speaker, which is actually right over here. Obviously, you got all the buttons down here. It's not like your normal like Galaxy phone where it's all a ton on the screens these days. It actually has the old-school button. It has the little dial over here, and it's pretty cool. Obviously, you go over here, and you can use your internet. You got all this stuff down here. It's pretty snappy. Like if I open up YouTube right now, it's actually pretty snappy, and I'm on pretty quick internet, so you can just scroll through this pretty quickly, and the screen is incredibly responsive for what it is. I'm actually really impressed by this phone. Obviously, I'm on one of my other channels right now, so I mean it just kind of scrolls through really quickly, and it's really responsive. Even the button in the front here is pretty quick. You can't do a double tap though, like some phones to get the screen up. That is actually the side button right over here on the bottom, if it's not going to focus. There is actually a little button. You can see it right here. There's a touchscreen one. Here's a back button, and there's the app open button. So all in all, it's actually pretty good. The camera is actually fairly decent on this phone. It's an 8 megapixel camera in the front, or there, and the front one I know is a little bit less. I think it's about 5 megapixel. Yeah, it's 5 megapixel in the front. It does actually work fairly well, I'm not gonna lie. So if you're looking for like a budget smartphone, this is probably the best way to go in my personal opinion. But I do have some very minor issues with this phone. It's the battery thing that I've posed is most of the time, I just want to say, like, right now, this is a disclaimer that these are my issues that I've had with the phone. That doesn't mean you're going to have the same issues that I did, but using the phone the way I did, you can experience some of these issues. Number one of them is the battery does pose quite a problem if you're like surfing the internet, watching videos, or hanging out on social media. It does not last long. But if you're not doing that, obviously it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, also, I advise putting a case on this phone. And I've had a drop on it already, and it kind of just gave it like a little corner scratch down here. But other than that, I didn't have a whole lot. But obviously, it'll still crack it, chip the plastic on the phone, and to be fair, who likes that? So in the end, is it worth a buy? I say yes. This phone gets my full seal of approval for being about $70 to $80. I know this one is through Boost Mobile. I know there's other variations of this phone in the market that are basically the same phone with different names through different carriers. It just depends on who you have. But in this case, yes. If you're looking to spend less than $100 for a great phone and still have a Samsung phone in the Galaxy line, even though it's not a technical full Galaxy, yes, it is a Galaxy nonetheless. This phone is great for anybody, kids, teens, adults alike. And the screen does look, like I said, amazing. And this is definitely a phone that I would recommend for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button down below if you like this video. Let me know if there's any other phones you want me to review in the future. I know I'm going to be doing a review on my personal Galaxy S8 soon, my long-term update with it, and some of the problems I've been having with it, and a lot of the good features aside with the same thing. I'm also going to be doing a laptop review soon for college students and high school students, so if you like those kind of things, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!